Hey everybody, it's George Trombley. This is Japanese from Zero, and today in Japanese in 5, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to take another 5 minutes of your important, extremely busy day, and we're gonna talk about verb conjugation for iru eru verbs. Remember, on the last video in the Japanese in 5 series, we talked about regular verbs, and regular verbs need to use the a form, e form, u form, e form, and o form to do any conjugations. The cool thing about what we're doing today is we don't need any of these. Wait a minute, why are there we do need these, but only these parts here. We're going to talk about just these parts here so we can tell when a verb is an iru eru verb. Okay, let's go ahead and clean this up, move this over here, and let's look at our first iru eru verb. It is miru. Miru means to see, or in this case, in its informal form, it means will see or do see. But today we're talking about the polite conjugations. But before that, how do we recognize an iru eru verb? There's two conditions. One, it must end with, the last two characters must end in a sound that rhymes with iru or eru. It rhymes with iru or eru. Or to get more technical, it has a hiragana ru at the end, and the character just before it must be in the E line, the E sounds, or the E line, the E sounds of the hiragana. And that's exactly what miru does. We see mi right here and the ru, and therefore it is an iru eru verb. So what do we do with iru eru verbs? Anyone? Well, we'll find out in a second. Let's look at two more verbs before we get in there. All right, we have miseru, which indeed follows the pattern. Now, miru only had two characters, and iru eru verb doesn't have to only have two characters. It could have 15 characters if it needs to, as long as it ends with two characters ending in iru and eru. It's an iru eru verb. So in this case, we have se. Okay, it's right there. Se plus ru, it's iru eru, and we have to fall, ochiru. Ochiru. Indeed, we have our chi right here, and we have a ru right here. It is an iru eru verb. Okay, let's go back to miru. And what do? First thing we do, we're going to need the endings of the verbs like we had before. Mas for will do, mashita did do, masen won't do, and masen deshita didn't do. For iru eru verbs, what we do is, the biggest rule that you must always remember is drop the ru. We don't got 5 things we have to do anymore. It's just one thing, okay? We're gonna drop the ru. Here we go. We drop it. We're left with mi, and now we just add our stems. Mimasu, will see or do see. Let's look at some sentences. Eiga o mimasu ka? Are you going to watch a movie? Or do you watch movies? We're not exactly sure, but let's just assume they're saying, hey, are you gonna watch a movie? Hai, ashita mimasu. Yes, I'm going to watch tomorrow. Iie, kyou wa mimasen. No, today I'm not going to watch. Okay, let's look at our next verb. Miseru means to show. We're going to go ahead and drop our ru. We're left with mise, which it does mean something, but nothing to do with the verb. It means a store. A mise is a store. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to add something to it. This time, let's add mashita. We're going to make it past tense. I showed, or I did show. Shashin o misemashita. I showed a picture. Okay? Zettai misemasen. I'm definitely not going to show. No, we don't know the circumstances, right? Maybe someone was asking to show a picture of when you were young and you're like, I don't want to show you that. Zettai misemasen. Definitely not going to show you, future tense negative. Ashita ii koto o misemasu. Maybe your father or your mother, when you were young, you wanted to do something and they said no, but I promise you tomorrow, they're lying of course, I'll show you something really good, something interesting. Ashita ii koto o misemasu. All right, let's go back to our other verb, ochiru, to drop. I want you to imagine you're sitting at a table, okay? First of all, speaking of dropping, let's drop that ru. That was pretty fun. And we have ochimasen. Ochimasen won't fall. I want you to imagine your cup is on the edge of a table and your girlfriend or your wife, they're looking over at you. They're like, the cup's gonna fall, but you're pretty confident it's not gonna fall because you have massive confidence. You're like, daijoubu, ochimasen. It's okay, it's not gonna fall. And then a few minutes later, your wife looks at you deadpan and she says, koppu ga ochimashita. The cup fell. And you're like, hai, ochimashita. But what if you're waiting for stocks to go down before you get into the market? You've been watching the one particular stock and it just keeps going up. And it's like, the minute it goes down, I'm going to buy it. But it doesn't go down. Kabu ga ochimasen deshita. The stock didn't fall. You might be interested to know that ochiru is, just like English, can be used for physical things dropping or a price drop, like in stock. That's it, guys. Let's get this stuff out of our way and let's talk about this. The Japanese from Zero book series is available on Amazon. We have amazing stuff in these books. You will learn a lot. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, but it has been reported by so many people that I'm pretty sure it's true. And I also checked, but after you have completed the Japanese books 1 through 5, you can pass the JLPT, the Japanese Language Proficiency Test, N5 and N4, which are the 2 bottom levels of the 5 tests. Isn't that cool? The same stuff is over here on the From Zero website, which you can get a membership to, and you can get a whole bunch of cool things you can't get in the books. We have study mode. You can ask a teacher question. You can change the mode that you're reading in. If you don't want to learn to write Japanese, you can just do Romaji mode, which is only Roman letters. If you are already advanced in Japanese and you know all the kanji, you can do kanji mode. If you're trying to learn kanji but you need a little bit of help, we have furigana mode that you can turn off the furigana, essentially hiding it, and only revealing it when you hover. That is one of the coolest functions. Check it out and make sure you definitely check out study mode. All right, guys, thanks for watching Japanese in 5. I will be doing a couple more parts. Stick around. The next video will be iru, eru, exception verbs. Bye. It is so hot in this room. I wish I could run this thing with the fan on, but I can't. It's over, guys.